Welcome back, traders and investors. We have Marc Berman on of TV Media and Insights to give us his take on the industry. There's been some things going on, some legal things going on. Mark, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Just getting right into it. WWE is no longer going to be on Direct TV, or is this going to be a new trend, or what's going on with that?
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, it doesn't really benefit them not to be on DirecTV. My philosophy is the more exposure you get, the better it is for something. So not suddenly appearing over there is certainly not going to help them. Not a positive.
Okay, that stock's been crushed lately, so think that people might have been anticipating that a little bit.
I would think so, and it certainly doesn't help the stock. It wasn't something that was beneficial. So I would imagine that is why the stock did go down significantly.
Okay, NFL adding games on Thursdays and Wednesdays. I don't know. They're talking about doing it almost every day of the week now. You think that this is going to cause a shuffle in the lineups for some of the other networks?
Oh, absolutely. Look, CBS announced they're going to be airing a number of Thursday night football games in the fall. So what it means, of course, is they can't air their regularly scheduled lineup. And you have to remember that when a network runs sports, like Fox, for example, with their baseball or in the fall, as much as it brings in an audience, it disrupts the current schedule, the regular schedule. So that is not necessarily easy to deal with. So what I think will happen in the fall on CBS in particular, my prediction is they're going to move the Big Bang Theory to Monday to build that night. And then once football ends, they'll bring back, their regular lineup. But anytime you have sports that's airing, which is very frequent, it does disrupt the regular schedule. So that can be a negative.
Okay, HBO is had the Games of Thrones and House of Cards. You're getting a lot of viewers. You think that's the way things are going? The big TV shows are not going to be on the major networks.
Well, I mean, cable for years has attracted some of the biggest talent, on camera, off camera, and you come up with something like Game of Thrones, which is an epic storytelling drama that really is not doesn't have the same feel when it's on a broadcast network. So I do believe we will be seeing more of that in the future. The thing with House of Cards is that is a show that right now, we don't even know. Somebody like me, I don't even know how many viewers it's attracting where it's airing at the moment. But it's such a big deal for Netflix because they put that on. They got a huge name like Kevin Spacey, and it garnered a lot of, critical acclaim, and that has really helped them. So I do believe we will be seeing many, many more shows of this caliber in these areas. So yes, absolutely. I mean, Mitch Hurwitz just signed a deal with Netflix, to create original programming. That's the first time that they signed a deal with somebody of that caliber. So yes, you're going to be seeing this is definitely an emerging trend. Absolutely.
Okay, and they're not going to be going over to the major networks because there's too much of the adult content then.
Well, when you do a show like, Game of Thrones, you can't do it the same way on a broadcast network. Due to the content, you can't do it the same way. Go back to when HBO was airing The Sopranos. Broadcast network has never really had a successful mob drama since The Untouchables way back when. And you really can't do it the same way you can do it on cable or on a streaming service because there aren't restrictions. You could do the show you want to do. And that's more appealing for, somebody like Kevin Spacey can do a show like that there. So yeah, it's much more challenging for a broadcast network to do it.
Okay, Netflix had some good earnings, kind of surprised the street, had a nice rally, and now it looks like more competition coming in from Amazon. I mean, are they going to be able to maintain, their place, I mean, the stock has done extremely well. Do you see that continuing? They have to bring on some new shows. Raising prices hurt them. What do you think?
Well, I think the thing with Netflix, I mean, it's the hot ticket right now. Anybody that's watching television, they're going to mention Netflix. I mean, there's really a sexiness about Netflix that you could go on and you could watch anything anytime you want. You can get a one complete season of a show in one airing. You can binge view, which is a big trend right now. And of course, because Netflix is attracting somebody like a Mitch Hurwitz, more original product, They have more competition. Everybody else is suddenly popping up doing what they're doing. As this industry works, success breeds imitation. But right now, Netflix has made an enormous name for himself in itself in the category of original programming. He continues to add new products, and I think right now it's trending upward. It's going to stay like that.
Okay, big news from the Supreme Court on Tuesday. They're going to hear the ABC and other networks versus Aereo. Are you familiar with what's going on there and that company and what they're doing?
Yes, I am familiar with it.
Uh,
You
c-
know,
Go ahead.
it's a double-edged sword here. You have a place like Area, which really, I mean, the best way to describe them is they're a technology company. They're streaming videos. They have two antennas, and ultimately, they're streaming shows that people normally are paying for on their cable providers, and you can go to Area and get it for free. So for somebody that's a viewer of this product, they're thinking, I'm going to save some money. I'll just watch it there. It's, fine for me. And then if you're one of these other networks, they're screaming that, look, they're stealing our content. They're not paying for it. It's not legal, and they're stealing our content. So, to a viewer, it's appealing because there's more available content. They don't have to go to where they normally went to get it. But if you're a broadcast network or a cable network, you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, they're carrying my stuff. They're not paying us for it, so ultimately they're stealing it from us. So it really is a double-edged side of the equation here. It's very, it's very interesting right now where how this is unfolding.
You think they have a chance to win the case?
Anything is possible. I would never rule anything out. I mean, I'm the type of viewer. To me, traditionally, I think the best way to watch television is to watch it on television. There's just something. There's just to me, there's a feel about sitting in front of a set and watching it. But that has changed. It's a very different landscape right now, and you have a place like Aereo that has come in and kind of like grabbed other people's programming. So do I think they should win? No, I don't think so. I don't think what they're doing is legal, but will they win? It's possible.
Yeah, and that would have a devastating effect on the networks then, huh?
Oh, I would think so. I would think so. Look, you're a network doing this, that, and the other thing. You're trying to cater to your audience, attract the most eyeballs, get a good demographic, and then suddenly this place is running your product, and they're just running it, and they're getting more viewers. The question is, how many more people are watching it via Area? We don't know. The same way we don't know how Netflix is really doing. It's all speculation.
Okay, so investors, in those stocks, I mean, should they take any action ahead of this? I mean, or are they just, you think it just sit tight that they'll, they still have the right to the content and that will carry them through even if Aereo wins?
I would sit tight right now because ultimately we don't know what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be a decision about this. I don't think it will be today. I don't think it will be tomorrow. I think they should really just keep hearing what's happening and just sit tight at the moment. But it certainly made headlines. It's certainly out there in the news, and we'll have to wait and see where it goes.
Okay, and is there any other company? I mean, if Aereo wins, obviously they'll benefit. Or, there are other companies they're trying to do this well in the sector that may benefit if they win this case.
Well, I mean, the thing with Area is if they're doing it, everybody else is going to be popping up and doing it also. So they're not going to be the only one. So it's sort of like, how do we change the business out? How do we deal with this? How do we, it's such a different environment. I mean, the changes have been so significant in recent years, particularly this year. I mean, we went from a three-network environment. Fox came on board. Suddenly, cable was out there. Suddenly, we had dozens of cable channels. We now have all these streaming services. There was so much out there, and it's a very different landscape. So we'll have to wait and see where this goes.
Okay, all right. We've had Marc Berman, editor in chief at TV Media Insights, giving us his outlooks on TV and companies in that industry. Mark, I know you had a busy morning. Thanks a lot for coming on. We'll speak to you soon.
It is my pleasure. Have a good day.